What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Tamar Braxton is now getting engaged to J.R. Robinson. And I guess they met on the Queen's Court dating show, which I have no idea about that. There's so many struggle shows going on. I just don't care. But now she's dealing with this particular guy. He's a lawyer in Atlanta, and he's affectionately referred to as something like a white chocolate kind of guy, meaning that he's a white guy who dates nothing but black women and he hangs out in nothing but black spaces. So that's what we all know people like that. Like one of my best friends is kind of like that. He's just like, he even sounds like a black person. Or he has an African-American, what we would consider accent. If you were to not close your eyes and talk to him, you would think he's black, right? So Tamar Braxton was proposed to, all right? Proposed to by Mr. J.R. Robinson. And the baby mama of J.R. Robinson is upset, who's also black, okay? Now, her name is Anna Stone Jenny. I want to read a little bit of this Instagram rant in which she's really mad about. She says, I have sat in silence for over a year, respecting everyone's privacy while they disrespected mine. I've sat in silence while this person has come into my son's life and caused nothing but chaos and unnecessary drama. While I will not speak on my son's other siblings and what kind of relationship their father or this woman has with them, let me be clear for all who know me and who know them. This woman is in no way a bonus or stepmom to my son. My son does not mean everything to her, and she has not thanked God for me, and truthfully, none of his baby mamas. She has said demeaning, disrespectful, and outrageous things about how I've chosen to co-parent with my son's father and the efforts I have made it to keep him involved. She has made no effort to meet me, get to know me as a woman or mother, and has caused my son's father to miss visitation weekends or birthdays. I'm fine with people sharing their version of the story that they've created for themselves on social media plus television. What we will not continue to do is involve the son that I raised in someone else's shenanigans. So here's what I want to talk about now. Basically, she's throwing Tamar Braxton under the bus. Okay? Now Tamar was pretty much saying that, the kids mean everything to her. That's why the lady responded to her in kind, right? But this is what I want to talk about. Here we have two black women picking a white man. This is interesting because y'all know where I'm going with this. You have so many ladies on social media who we refer to them, or they refer to themselves as divestors. Go and get you a white man. This is what they say. And actually, what I'm going to do right now, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to keep it going. All right. I was going to play some clips, but you've seen them already. Go and get you a white man because these black men are so immature. These black men can't do X, Y, and Z. Fine. All right. Let's leave these black men alone then. You go out there, ma'am, and pick whoever you want to pick. You pick this white guy. You pick this white guy and you say that he has kids by multiple different women in which he's never married. So if you're not dealing with black men, and I'm not saying that she's a divester or anything, but if you choose to go out of your scenario, you're choosing a white man who is pretty much acting as an African American. That's his swag. So you're not dealing with black men, but you're attracted to white men that have this pseudo African American swag. So you have a baby by this man and you didn't ask him to marry you first. Now here you are as a black woman, you're calling out another black woman for destroying your relationship such that this guy is not coming to see his kids. But who don't I see in the picture? Who is not responsible for this? Who is not responsible? Black men. Okay. Now, Tamar Braxton has blamed so many people. Last, it was David Edefeso. Okay. Then she was married to Vince Herbert. Now you're getting with this guy who has all of these problems with black women. Vince Herbert, nobody ever heard of him or having problems with him ever. Okay. Nobody else. But now, what is going on with her? Okay, what is going on with her? The issue is that the blame and the accountability and the liability, or who is at fault here, is not black men. The problem is that you just couldn't pick the right guy outside of black men. And you looked for the wrong traits. Now you're mad at Tamar. You and Tamar are going back and forth. This is something that's happening with like in the hood. Your baby mama, your baby daddy. Like you would expect this to be a black man, but this is over a white guy who has multiple kids by multiple women in the black community. And now when these women become single moms, then they will say, you black men left them alone like that. You guys created that. That's all you hear. You hear no accountability for the decisions of, what they made. Now, are there black men out there that are irresponsible? You goddamn right. Yes, they're there. But it's only black men that are responsible. But then you see this situation here where there are no black men at fault and you have two black women pretty much accusing another of terrorizing their relationship. And the man is not there. He's not even black. The one that y'all are seeing are out here doing all this crazy stuff. So then how do we even take that serious? How do we take that serious? Can anybody tells me how we take that serious? Do we know? No, we don't. We don't want to talk about it, do we? Y'all don't want to talk about this because in talking about this, y'all are going to be so mad because we know the truth. The truth is, while we want to put color into it, while we want to put race into it, and we can say the same thing for black men or black women, what we don't want to put into it is the choices that people make. Why their choices are bad. Why their choices are not good. How there's no accountability. When you don't look for the right traits. And somehow because he don't want to come and see his kid, it's Tamar Braxton's fault, or it's the man's fault. As if you have nothing to do with the fact that you had a baby by this guy. So now you want to say that she's destroying your life. And she very well may be. But if you would have made the right choice, you wouldn't be here. So where is your accountability to the fact that you're there? And this is the thing like this, right? At what point do you build a community around people who nobody can take serious? Because every time somebody else is to blame. You got men that do this and you got women that do this. Everybody's to blame. And nobody wants to say, you know what, responsibly, this is not a good guy. I wasn't looking at the right thing to do. This is partly my fault. Or I had other guys I could have dealt with, my fault. Or other women I could have dealt with, I chose, it's my fault. We don't want to do that. We want to blame everybody else for everything else, but for what did happen, and we don't want to talk about that, do we? No, we never do. That's the problem. And then you want to blame black men for a situation, and clearly there's no black men involved in this at all. Zero. How do you explain that? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.